Back live in Melbourne, Venus Williams, hungry to regain some glory in 2005, able to muscle past Peng Shuai 6-3 in the first set. Brad Gilbert, Mary Jo Fernandez join me. Thoughts on the first set? Venus against an opponent who has obvious game, but not quite enough to get through that first set.
Well, it forced Venus, though, to pick up her game early in that first set because Venus really struggled a little bit in that second and third game that Peng Shuai served, and she got through those. So mentally, that's going to give her some confidence. I think she needs to improve on coming forward. She still needs to attack more. If she's going to have any chance to go far in this tournament, maybe win this tournament, she's got to get to the net.
She's a set away from the third round. Anna smashed no, the next opponent for the winner of this match. Of course, we'll get you back inside Rod Laver Arena. Other matches in progress right now. We're going to check in on a couple of men's matches here. This one just has gone complete, and Jean-René Linard, kind of a journeyman French veteran, beats a much more accomplished compatriot, Sébastien Grosjean. The second consecutive comeback from 2 sets down in this tournament for Linard. Brad never did it in his life. Now he's done it twice. He's a qualifier here to the third round.
That's a good effort right there. And that's a tough beat for Grosjean, especially losing to your countrymen. It's always tough playing your countrymen, but when you're up 2-0, those are the kind of matches you need to close out. And those are the kind of matches that can haunt you for a whole year.
Now, Guillermo Coria in the Vodafone Arena trying to close out Ricardo Melo of Brazil. He leads 2-1, but it's the Brazilian with the service break in the fourth set.
I don't know that one break is going to hold up. There's going to be quite a few breaks out there. There's been a lot of movement out there. Both guys are gazelles out there. And anytime you get an Argentinian versus Brazil, you know, there's a few things going on out there.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough rivalry. We saw Yuzhny and Nadal battle for almost 4 hours on the Laver court. Now, Coria and Melo looks like it's destined for 4 hours on Vodafone. That has the look of a 5-setter.
Yeah, it's got the look of, thank God it's not 35 out there today. We wouldn't see too many 4-hour matches out there.
Well, Pam Shriver's wandering the grounds here, finds herself out at court 16 where a pretty famous fellow is having an off-day hit. Pam?
Chris, you never know who you're going to see have a practice at the Australian Open. Roger Federer, after last night's 3-set win, he's out here hitting with his coach mentor, Supreme, Tony Roach, one of the great lefties of all time, and his next opponent, Jarkko Nieminen, is a lefty from Finland. I talked to Roachy this morning about last night's match, and even Roachy, after all the tennis he's seen through the years, was extremely entertained. So it's really fun for the crowd out here at Court 16 to see Roger Federer, #1 in the world, trying to defend his title and having a little off-day practice with one of Aussie's great players of all time, Tony Roach. Chris?
It's interesting how Federer practices, Pat. He's got the old guy Roach out there. Sometimes he'll grab a junior. He's not too particular about who he hits with on these off-days.
Hey, Pammy, I see that he's got Tony in one corner. I don't see Tony moving around too much out there.
You know, Roachy had a hip replacement a couple of years ago, so I think he said to Roger, let's go to a corner. But I will tell you, Roachy next week is playing the senior mixed doubles, and I think Roger Federer is a heck of a handy warm-up partner for the senior mixed doubles next week for Tony.
You got that right. In the meantime, Federer will play Jarkko Nieminen, the top-ranked Finn, in the third round, and he has never dropped a set to Nieminen in 5 previous meetings. All right, that's what's going on the grounds around Rod Laver Arena. Back inside now to Dick Enberg and Mary Carrillo, Venus Williams, and Peng Shuai in set 2.
All right, thank you, Chris. And very quickly to open this second set, Venus Williams breaks Peng Shuai at 15-40. And how great was that? Tony Roach and Roger Federer out there. Wouldn't you just race over to just see them hit?
Coach Roach, after his own tremendous playing career, he's worked with the Davis Cup team in Australia. He worked for an awful long time with Ivan Lendl. He works, among other players, he works with Sam Stosur, a young Aussie who's out of this tournament, but very, very tough, a very fit, big old serve, plays an awful lot like Alicia Malik, who is still in and one of the great hopes in Australia tennis. Stosur's a couple of years younger, but I think she's got an awful lot of game as well. Roach will be traveling about 10 weeks a year, usually before the majors, working with Federer to get him set for those. Another ace from Venus. That's her 4th. And that one came in at a 115.
And another.
That one 117. Now remember, Venus used to serve bigger than that. She used to serve regularly back in the day in the 120s. In fact, she had one at 127. Still the fastest ever for a woman.
Well, block that one back for a winner. Why the difference? Where do you think she's lost that velocity?
I think she's lost the confidence to go for it so much, Dick. Honestly, I think her sister returned her so well for a couple of years there that she felt she had to, get more in.
Nice return from Peng.
Well, it comes back in a hurry. The way Peng tries to block those returns and spit them back at you before you're even through with your follow-through. It's a nice tactic. A little dangerous, though. And she seems to be fairly unafraid of all this power.
Let's proceed.
And it's 2-love. Up a set. Venus Williams. The Williams sisters, the most successful siblings in tennis history, and that well documented with their tremendous results. Both of them earning, look how close they are in earnings, over 14 million. 6 slams for Serena, 4 for Venus, and of course they won 6 Grand Slam doubles titles together. Historic.
Mixed doubles majors as well for both of them. They haven't really been playing in many doubles or mixed doubles, and I think that's hurt their games as well. Because in mixed and doubles, it's all serving is such a key.
Disappoints me as a fan because they're so much fun to watch when they play doubles. Just did catch the line.
And this is what her coach, Alan Ma, is hoping to see from Peng, that she's still out there giving it a big try. From Taiwan, when he was 16 years old, he came to the States trying to qualify for the Olympics in LA when tennis was just an exhibition sport, and he didn't make it, but he stayed here for 10 years because he wanted to be as good a tennis player as he could. Went 10 years without seeing his parents. And he likes coaching every bit as much as he ever liked playing. He's got his own academy, the International Tennis Academy down in Delray, Florida. He's a very fine coach.
And he has a pupil here that obviously is on the blossom. She is gone from 326 to number 48 in the world. And you see good things from her like that. But Venus Williams up a set and up a break here in the second. A peek at the incredible complex tennis here in Melbourne.
What do you think of this place, Dick? First time?
It really,
Isn't it amazing?
my feet hardly hitting the ground here. It's just everywhere you look, there's something to enjoy. Not too big. They didn't overpower it. It was oversized stadia.
Just right.
15,000 here at Rod Laver Arena.
Well, she's got to stop missing those kind of shots.
But as you pointed out, she
goes for it, huh?
Yeah, fires away.
We like that, don't we? Unless it doesn't work. And then you think, oh, why'd she take such a risk? She's got to put more pressure on Venus's serving games, Peng, because you just know that Williams is going to do everything she can to rattle Peng on her serve games. You can't give him these breathers. Venus has a nice relaxing service game. She's going to be able to swing freely on the return games.
And it is the first double fault from Venus Williams' side.
Let's proceed.
With her height and reach, and it just begs for her to do more of that. She was forced to come up to play this short ball, but it'd be interesting to see if she did employ a little serve and volley.
Well, and the thing also, Dick, is it doesn't always, her height and her reach, she's got power and angles that I just don't feel she uses enough of. She should generate tremendous variety off of her serve. She should be able to hit a wide slice to Peng, which would trouble her with her two hands. She should hit the power up the middle, especially against a two-handed player off both sides. You want to mix it up all over the box on serve. Going into the body as well, which has worked for her on a couple of occasions.
119 miles an hour on that serve. And a point for 3-1 in the second.
Venus is serving at a very high percentage, 70 for the match. Only one double fault. Again, navigating her shots into that forehand side of Venus Williams.
Both women at 19 unforced. Venus ahead 17-9 with winners. Difference in the match.
Let's proceed.
The other difference, you know, the numbers might sound similar, but Venus Williams is up a set and a break, which means that her unforced errors weren't as expensive as her opponents. When do they happen? That's another fine return, taken nice and early, and that helped her generate that kind of angle.
And here's Peng with a chance to break back for 2-all. Beautiful shot to watch, isn't it?
Sure is. I so prefer the Venus Williams backhand side, and you can see right there in that replay how well she prepares. She's got her racket back so well on her backhand side. Just loads up on it so nice and early.
And another big serve. Her sixth ace and a 3-1 lead here in the second. owning the first set at 6-3. Well, the influence, Mary, of Venus and Serena Williams on other African-American youngsters and wanting to play this game, and how long we've hungered to see some of those great athletes, men and women.
It happened in golf as well. What was Tiger Woods going to do? Was he going to change the face of golf, not just himself, but was he going to get other youngsters playing the game? And again, keep in mind, before there was Venus and before there was Serena, obviously there was Lori McNeil, there was Zena Garrison, there was Althea Gibson, and there was, of course, the late, great Arthur Ashe. There's a bunch of young Americans out there these days as well.
We saw a couple of them at the U.S. Open last September, and they had some good results.
15 all.
And Donald Young is the youngster who's
only 15, isn't he?
He's only 15. He's already turned pro, and I'm not sure how crazy I am about that idea, because he's not big like Gaël Monfils, the French African player who looks like a man already. I mean, Donald Young's really got some growing to do and some experience to get before he does much.
Scoville Jenkins, another, as Peng misses.
Angela Haynes, a little bit older. And she was down here. She lost in straight sets yesterday. Sinead Perry.
Young Scoville Jenkins ran into Andy Roddick's 150-mile-an-hour serve at the Open.
He had one very good set against him, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
14.
And here's Peng again in trouble on her serve. A couple of break points against. He'll afford to go down double break. Now Venus Williams commanding another point and another break. A couple of games from the third round. Back in Australia's most European city. 3.5 million occupants, and over 500,000 again for the 6th year will attend the great international Grand Slam tennis of this Australian Open. And Venus Williams with sights on the third round, 2 games away, 6-3, 4-1. Slices that one on the center line. Ace number 7. Cut the corner.
There are two teams in the women's doubles. 2 Chinese teams that are seeded, and another team that knocked out the 13th seed. China won a little over 30 medals in Athens, and their stated goal for 4 years from now is to get 100. 100. That's what kind of jump they expect in 4 years. And they expect a lot of it to come from sports like tennis, where they never really dominated before. And what's really interesting about the Chinese Federation and their sensibility is that there's a huge event called the Asian Games that, to their mind, is bigger than the majors. All sports, all Asian countries, and the Chinese tennis players won't be at Wimbledon this year because it goes on at the same time as the Asian Games.
40-15.
Their federations over there let you know what's important, whether it's true in your sport or not.
Whoa! A rocket return.
14-13. Cheers.
And from 40 love to deuce as Peng battles in this game. Her Australian debut.
Advantage Williams.
And then she has to try to fend off what seemed to be even more powerful than 109 miles an hour, but that went into the body. Point for 5-1. And another return winner from Peng.
Well, when you play in as tight as Peng is willing to do on these Williams serves, I mean, you don't need to. Look at that. She just sort of squirted it down the line, a little bunt. Used Venus's power against her.
And
That
then
was
this is
missed
bad.
time.
Yep.
I mean, that's the danger of declaring yourself and parking yourself so close to the oncoming serve.
And then Venus gave her a little off speed, 103.
Smart.
And her third double fault to deuce. How she holds in all the emotion Oracene through the years. Dropping her head those last two tosses.
Advantage Williams.
Tremendous angle, and that put Peng just gave up way too much court for the Williams backhand. That's tremendous defense to offense.
Point of the match for Venus Williams to go up 5-1.
Williams leads by game 1-1.
Well, fans, Thursday night ESPN's coverage of college hoops continues. Pierre Pierce and the Hawkeyes of Iowa look to right the ship after a tough start in the Big Ten against Luther Head, Deron Williams, and a lethal #1 in the country, Illinois, fighting a Illini offense. That should be a good one in the Big Ten. More information, log on to ESPN.com. Again, that game, Iowa, Illinois, Thursday at 7 here on ESPN. Kathy Kappas, Bridget Boganis, Illini, they're wearing their orange and blue. Who wouldn't? That's a terrific team. Peng trying to push Venus to another game here in the second set. Gets the baseline. And again, underlying your point, Mary Carrillo, how much stronger she is on that backhand wing.
Not even close. Kind of a snappy little forehand display, though. I love Venus's backhand down the line. I think it's the best shot she has and one of the best shots in women's tennis. Yeah, that's just.
Cheating.
It's an anemic serve. It really needs. She's going to have to just get more blood coursing through this thing of hers, because it's really the only part of her game that is not truly world class. I mean, she's already in the top 50. She could take better care of her serve. She should be a regular in the top 20 by the end of this year.
Well, bad luck off a net cord to fly that long, and with it, match point for Venus Williams. And a date in the third round with the number 27 seed Anna Smashnova. Smashnova defeating Tamarine Tanasugaran earlier today.
That goes out. This match is still going.
Some nice work by Peng at the net. Tending goal.
That's pretty much, that was a miss hit here. I mean, I think the sound off Peng's racket went pung. But because it just dropped dead over the net, Venus couldn't quite control it.
Advantage Williams.
Match point number 2. And a return winner for Venus Williams to punctuate the manner in which she took advantage of Peng's serve. She's through.
I like what I saw, though, from Peng. And it's a huge occasion for her. She's never played in an arena this big against this kind of an opponent. And, you know, how often do we see, you know, the younger players just sort of lie on their backs and burp on an occasion like this? Peng gave her everything she's got, and it seems to me that Peng's got a lot more to give in the coming years.
And Venus Williams and Serena Williams through to the third round. Venus to meet the 27th seed Anna Smashnova. They would not meet each other until the finals are in the opposite halves of the draw of the Williams sisters. So a 2-1 win for Venus Williams. Coming up next, the match that the Aussies have been waiting for, Leighton Hewitt against American James Blake.